Alrighty, so I'm just going to do a welcome. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, Lara and Genene, for joining me in this conversation about legacy builders. And, I don't have a particular agenda because I just like having conversations over the screen and just seeing where the conversation goes. So us three gals have dived into the legacy builder through the wonderful Charm War, and we are on our journey in going through this platform, this program, this opportunity. So I just thought it would be great for us to, each of us to have a bit of a comment about what was it that captured our attention that we went, yeah, give me some of that.
I want that. I want what she's having.
Exactly. So, look, I'm happy to start. In my situation, I sold part of my business back in July, and I've known Shah for a number of years, and I've worked with her on 3 or 4 other projects and been on a TV show and, do speaking and all of that sort of stuff. And I talk a lot about legacy. And so, the name grabbed me right away because I think that that's, going to resonate with my clients. And secondly, it really resonates with me, and it feels like it's something that's proactive and, empowering. And I know Lara's a big on female empowerment, and I have been for years too. And so that really grabbed my attention. Now, the fact that I love to travel, and I have for the last year or so, 18 months, been building travel and working into, my daily, was another point. And thirdly, look, I never like to hark back to COVID times, but, financially I took, even as a CPA and a certified financial advisor, in COVID times, I actually really took a big hit to my financial well-being. And, my future will be affected by that. So, of course, the income was attractive as well. And, the final thing I will say, because I want to leave something for you other ladies to talk about, was really this whole notion of a couple of hours of a work day. I am now semi-retired. Do I need to be putting in 8 hours a week? Absolutely not. But I want to be connecting with real people with real issues, and I really am big about giving back and making an impact and leaving a lasting legacy in the world. So that's it in a nutshell.
I love that. Thank you, Jenny. Lara, let's hear your thoughts on this one.
Okay, so a little bit along the same. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Along the same lines as Genene, done quite a few projects with Shah Moore, gone in a book with her, and we talk a lot in Legacy about know, like, and trust. And Shah popped into my messenger or whatever she popped into at the time, and I remember the conversation I had with her about she started this journey with Legacy, and I remember my words to her were, "Have you vetted this program?" And she said, "Yes, I have." And if it's good enough for Shah, it was good enough for me. So I went along those lines. And what was happening in my life at the time was earlier this year, I just got burnt out in my 9-to-5 grind, literally, physically, emotionally, mentally burnt out. My hands went bung on me. I couldn't type anymore. I was typed out. I was... as Genene's saying, 10 hours a day, no break, toxic work environment. And I just couldn't go anymore. I just could not physically type anymore. I couldn't do anymore. And I had to take stock of my life. And I guess the choice was made for me. I was off on leave. This came along and I started to have a look at what was happening in my life. And, my parents are in their 80s and needing a bit more. And I want to be there for those moments and those pivotal moments. I want to be there to support them. I take my dad to lunch now on a Wednesday and we have pancakes, and he thinks that's just the aunt's pants because he sits there with 2 dry as pancakes with his maple syrup, but it makes his week. And, I support my mum. So if that's what I can look back when their time comes and they're no longer on this earth and go, Dad had a giggle with his pancakes and I can build this, why not? And as Genene was saying earlier, I'm about empowering women. And the other side of my work history is lots and lots of years in the health and welfare industry and domestic violence and other situations there. And I really I've talked to Genene about this, for a lot of women, they don't have big super balances and things like that. So I really want to work around with women in building their future and having some comfort to fall back on. You know, there's so many, you look at the statistics now of homeless women out there in my age bracket, which is old. And I know for myself.
We've already established you're not as old as me.
Well, I'm old, right? But
define old, Lara. Define old. I can probably guarantee you be the youngest person on this call.
Over 50. 53. But in all seriousness, I know myself coming out of divorce and a situation for a lot of years, my super didn't get built, you know, and things like that. So wealth generation, and that's where I'm going, why I joined.
Nice.
So that's me.
Thank you for that. And mine's completely different. So I have not been connected with Shah for very long, but I knew of her through friends of friends, and I'd seen her popping in and out of my socials. And I knew that she had amazing entrepreneurial mindset, and she did have fantastic businesses. And so she reached out to me directly and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Great to be connected." And we just started doing this chat. And I just thought, you know what? I know of this lady, and I know that she's not going to offer something to me that's rubbish. So that was something that I just through vicariously watching her and seeing things that she's done over the years, and some very good friends of mine were connected with her. So I've only met Lara and Genene just recently, right? We haven't been connected before.
A couple of months.
Yes. And my background is completely different. So I've been an entrepreneur for 20 odd years. And as some of you may have seen, I've done some posts where I have built a lot of companies, 17 companies, one to them to 30 million in 24 months. That was a ridiculous ride, but I also liquidated that. And so with full transparency, it completely wiped me out. At 57, I had nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so I restarted my entire life and started to do the Navigate business with a business partner of mine. And so when I saw this opportunity, I saw it was tapping back into that time, because I had limited myself to one income stream by the time that business liquidated. And when it was pulled out from underneath me, I went, holy shit, I can't have that happen. It will never happen to me again. I have income streams from lots of different places, affiliate, my own programs, master resale licenses. And so I fundamentally knew when I saw this, I went, holy cow, I've spent many millions of dollars creating businesses, building product, getting them to market. And I looked at this, I went, oh my God, for $900, I'm buying a business in a box that's done for me, but it also ticks a great big box for me that it's another income stream. But fourthly, if that's a word, it also speaks directly to my target audience, which is women in business, about scaling their business so they leave a legacy that they deserve and that they're proud of. So, we're ticking the boxes with Genene and Lara. We're the same deal, but I arrived from a different perspective. And so my audience that I'm looking to connect with are women in business who need to take the rocky road of business, where the cash flows like this business, and smooth it out, because you've got passive income coming in with all the systems done for you. And what I see in this platform is not just the ability to on-sell a product, is that I had a team of 100 people doing stuff for me. They did the marketing, they did the sales, they did all that. And now I've got no one to delegate it to. It's just me, right? Oh my God, where have they gone? And I can learn how to do all this stuff in here. So I see it as two massive ticks for me, that I can learn something that there's no time limit to me learning. Because just as a side, I came across a business that's selling marketing courses to women for 4 months for $10,000. And if they don't get it finished in 4 months, they have to pay again.
Yeah. And it's interesting, Joe, that you've said,
oh my God.
I was on the road of exiting, being in the exit lounge, having a proper succession plan for my business and executing on that.
Yeah.
I was actually building my own products for 8 months before I joined.
Yes.
And I realized that I was taking a lot of time to build that. And all of the while, that money wasn't coming in. And so it was just a cash outflow, not a cash inflow. And so that, you know, the Legacy Builder program came along at the right time as well for me, because it was a business in a box that I could resell, that I could learn some of the techniques and skills from, that I could apply to what I was already doing. Because so many people, and I encourage every woman to take what their intellectual property is, what their jam is, and create with it to build a legacy. You know, that's been my shtick for years. You know, take what you know and build a legacy, but it's time consuming and there's a lot of cash outflow while you build it. And where you take this and then you can, you know, create with it, you can resell it, you can, you know, there's trainings around 200 different things that you can do digitally. You know, how can you build a digital store? How can you sell digital products, ebooks and webinars and all of that stuff? All of that's there. And so for me, it just fit perfectly with my ideology, I guess, and you know, what I was doing. So I can now continue to do what I'm doing in terms of creation, but also have some income coming in as well.
Yeah, no, I love that. And what people won't recognize is that we're talking a lot about this. You know, we all have a different way of speaking about it. We can do it where we're fully visible on the video. It could be that we're doing it faceless where it's not. So we can choose how we want to talk about it. But let's have a little conversation around what sits behind this platform. Because how many people are we up to? 43,000 people in the back end of this platform. And you can't tell me that all those people have made a dumb decision in buying and into adopting this, right?
Yeah, but it's the size of the market as well, Joe. I mean, the size of the market, and people, you know, you might have just gone, oh, wow, 40,000 people, is there space for me? But if you think about the size of the market, which is massive and growing, and even if you only captured 1% of that market, I'd be happy with 1% of that market, that digital market. It's massive, right?
Yeah. Look, I did some stats the other day, and 76% of women buy online today.
Wow.
And there's 800 million people of them online every day.
Yeah.
So it's just a slice of that pie, right? But it's not just offering the Legacy Builder and all the other layers, all the different levels. For me, it's my other programs that I can get to market as well. So it's creating that robust business structure for me, because that's still important. I'm still fully engaged, working long hours. But this piece, to get this done, is literally no more than 2 hours. So let's have a little chat about that. So Lara, I know you do a lot of different stuff. We see you walking through the streets and you do all sorts of, your posts are completely different to mine, as they are completely different to Genene. And that's perfectly fine, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit spontaneous. Like, I know, you know, people say strategy, but I just take it what happens on the day. Like as Joe was saying, I will take a video of something happening, a kangaroo jumping over there, or something. Just because it's how I don't know that I'm as creative as some people. So I just take it like, oh, there's a hill there. I will reference that as, do you feel like you're walking up a hill of life sometimes? What would you know, a passive income help with feeling like you're walking up a hill and that there's no end to it or light at the end of the tunnel? Out shopping or whatever. That's how I structure that. If I guess it's messy structure for mine, but that's how I don't know. That's how I do my.
Well, let me describe it for you, Lara. This business fits around your life. You don't fit your life around this business.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, Lara, what platform are you using?
Well, as of today, I was on a mentoring call with. Were you on that call? I just heard you say earlier, Melissa. Were you on that 11 o'clock? Yeah. When I heard you say, were you on there, Joe?
No.
Okay. I heard you say it's good to hear some Australian accent.
The one with Amy. That one with Amy.
Yeah, I was on there. And as of today, I've just made a decision that I'm just going to hit TikTok, because that's where I'm growing each day, more and more likes. Where I've been getting a bit is, I think, the spreading too thin, I've got to get to Instagram, I've got to get to this, I've got to get to that. So I'm just going to focus purely on TikTok. And that's where my audience is engaging. And I think Michelle has said it. Michelle, our founder at Digital, Growth Community, pick what works, stop trying to spread yourself too thin. So finally that sunk in for me. So I'll be doing 3 on there a day, and then posting stories just on the other 2. And and I find if I try to do too much, I'm going to do these 3 things tomorrow around this subject, I get stressed out. I just can't. I go to ChatGPT and I put it all in, and I go, I'm just not feeling it. It just worked for me that way.
And I think we all feel the same way. Like sometimes just go, no, I'm just going to stop. And I'll just walk away for 10 minutes and come back. I think that's anything in business, right? You just go, I just need a break. I just need to get outside and get some sun. Genene, how do you approach your posting that you're doing?
Look, I'm at the opposite end of the day. I am sitting on the couch at 9 or 10 p.m. And that's the time of day when I am most creative. I'm most creative in the evenings, and there's not a massive audience of Australians sitting there at 9 o'clock at night looking for business opportunities. I'm certain of it. But at the end of the day is better for me. And so I am a creator. You know, I just get it. Look, I'd be lying if I said I commit 2 hours to this every day. That's my intention. But if I can get it done in 10 minutes, the rest of the time's mine.
That's a win.
That's a big win.
That's a massive win.
and so, you know, typically I get my stuff done in about 10 or 15 minutes, and, you know, then I can focus on other things longer term. But my main aim at the moment is really to find out what content is working, like Lara, what platform is working for me. I had ideas of that when I came in, and let me say, I was totally wrong. My audience is somewhere else. So for me, I'm just still figuring that out. But I want to get to the point where I don't even have to spend that 10 minutes a day. You know, if I've got 100 pieces of content and I can recycle 80 of them, I'm going to recycle 80 of them. Absolutely. So I think it's about working smart and working with your own rhythm. I talk a lot about energy. I have to manage my energy. I have to work when I'm most creative, and that's what I do. So this business fits right around my life as well. I don't try and fit my life into the business. It's the other way around.
Yeah. And for me, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. Like I've done my walk, done my yoga, done my meditation. Then I do my videos, and because they're like 1-2 minutes long, so just push them out. But up until this week, I've been putting them into a platform, putting my logo on, making them fancy, all that sort of stuff. And they got engagement. They did okay. But this week I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that, because I listened to Michelle O'Neill, and she said, and Shah says the same, just be real and don't. So do the videos. And I would always do it on my computer because I'm just a neat freak and OCD, and it's got to be perfect. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it straight on the phone. And my engagement has gone to about 500% more.
Wow. Yeah.
Just by being me.
real.
Yeah, I use the fun text thing that transcribes it, makes it all really cool, but that's just on the app, not putting logo, not doing anything like that. So that's what I really love, because, you know, we're going through a 90-day sprint at the moment, and we are learning from the owner and what she's about on there for about 3.5 minutes, 5 minutes, the owner of this platform. And we get to see her. She turns up every day, and she is doing exactly what we're doing. So it's not as though, I'm up on this ivory tower and I'm just going to tell you what to do. We can go and look at her on TikTok, and sometimes I do when I'm going, I feel a bit flat, but I need a little bit of Michelle, and I go and watch her and listen. I go, that's a good idea. I think I can create a version of that. It's not about copying, but how can I speak to my audience with that? And so, you know, 43,000 people are doing this, and they're having success as well. They're excited about it. And so that's a little bit infectious, right? You can go into the back end and go, I need a little bit of dopamine of a win. And whilst we've got a great group, we can go in the back end and do that as well. Like, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. And it's about sharing and caring and giving back. For me, it's always about that, creating that legacy, creating that empowerment, having accountability and finding accountability partners, and, really sharing the love and sharing what we know as well. And, we've shared a lot amongst ourselves in this group that's now, 35 strong. And we have our own accountability group here of 3 of us. And it's about really getting together and sharing it and borrowing things from each other. Absolutely, we're not copycatting, but we're making it our own, because this is our business, and we're going to do what we want in our business, obviously within the rules. I mean, we bought this because it was, you know, reputationally a good, solid product, and we don't want to destroy that reputation because that destroys our value. But you know, within the bounds, we're going to share and care and you know, get the word out there. And as I said earlier, you know, 1% of this market's massive, so I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, I did the sums on 0.5%. I went, yay, that would be awesome.
Exactly.
Hey, I'll take some of that. So I know, so we've been talking about that it's a business that you're buying. So the $900 is the top level, and there's actually 100, 300, 600, 900. So you can work your way up. But let's have a little chat about how long, because, you know, we receive a landing page, we would get all the systems and everything. How long did it take each of us to get that so that we could actually get it to market? But bearing in mind, we started talking about it before we were even ready to launch, right? And so that's what we talked.
Yeah. So the lead up for me was from when I signed up, in that I started straight away, you know, I've got something really exciting coming, started warming up the audience. And obviously at that stage for me, most of my audience was family and friends on Facebook, but started warming up that audience because you never know who's looking for something and something to fill a void. And so started warming it up, but literally within 7 days, I launched on that 8th day. I was ready. Everything was customized. I even had tech issues in the meantime because something was not talking between my laptop and the system. And so I
remember that.
Tech issues that were, you know, I think the tech issues probably took 2 or 3 days to resolve. So, but I was still up and running on that 8th day. You know, here we are, here's launch, and away we go.
Yeah. And you, Lara, how long did it take you to get?
I'm trying to remember. I think I launched like on the 7th. I did the 0 to 7 days, and then Shah's team helped me with mine. So but I just can't recall if it was that week but it was not like maybe the week after. I think Shah was just getting the team together because her team helped me with mine, which was invaluable in itself because I got to the funnel thing and I just went. So I took that route. But you two, kudos to you two. You slogged through, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it myself, and it. I'm going to say it took 10 days because was working on my business at the same time, Navigate. But I was really pumped. Within 24 hours, I had my first sale, so I got my money back like that. And that was because the guidance they give us is to talk about, create that excitement about something coming, and so they help you to do that. So this is applicable to, you know, Mariam or, you know, anybody else listening. If you've got a new offer coming to market, this teaches you how to get excitement about it and engagement. And this was somebody that I met through a Facebook group. It wasn't a friend, it wasn't a family. And so I just followed the process. And that's something that is a little bit hard for Joanne. Joanne wants to go right to the end. Like, who reads the instruction books when you're putting an IKEA product together? You just look at the visual and go, yeah, I can make that. I don't.
I'm a wizard at IKEA. I think in my next life, I'm getting a job at IKEA. As the assembly engineer.
Brilliant. So what I love about this is, and we haven't covered it, we actually get the chance to earn four different types of income, like 4 income streams. So if we've got people who want to buy the top of the range, like the Mercedes-Benz version, $900, it's a pretty cost-effective Mercedes-Benz, and the $100 is a bit like a golf cart, but it gives you a lot. It still gets you from A to B, right? Like I looked at it the other day. Even the 100, Launchpad. There's 48 video tutorials in there. 48. Who gets to buy a business for $100 with 48 tutorials that never go away?
And look, you know, this business applies globally.
Yeah.
So herwealthbuilder.global, it's a global business. And so you might find people in, you know, I have people who work for me in the Philippines. Those people who are marketing in the Philippines, you know, the 100 is perfect for them to get started and build up their base. And then when they're ready, they can step up. And all they're paying extra is another $29 to step up to the big show.
Yeah. And what's pretty cool, right, is that there's no subscription to this. Like, how many times do we buy up, enter into something that we go, oh yeah, it's about $50 a month or $25 a month. I guarantee you, I had, did a little post about this morning. If you looked at all the subscriptions you have per month as a business owner, you are spending way more than $1,300 a month. Oh, I'm pretty sure of it. Xero, scheduling software, video stuff, all these platforms, Zoom, all these, and you have to pay that every single damn month. Right?
Yeah.
And this you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And I think once you learn the system, you can create from it yourself. But once you learn the system and you see the benefits of these master resale rights, then start looking for other quality products as well that fit in that category, that sit nicely alongside. So for me, talking about money and life, mindset is a big part of that. Money coaching is a big part of that. I can go and create that, but at the same time, I can just buy another product and put it in the box.
Exactly.
Put it in the store. And so I think it's a, that traditional way of doing business, this is a completely different mindset, and it's been revolutionary for me.
Yeah, same. I've learned so much. Like, I thought I was fairly savvy, but I have learned so much about I've never done TikTok ever. And now there's 310 people following me. I went, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Jo, because I thought TikTok was the all singing, all dancing, and I thought,
I don't want to dance, and I've not done any dances yet. I'm not dancing.
I'm not doing that. But
no.
But my best performing on TikTok so far was the one I did with the dark side of the moon.
That was good. I like that.
I went, how did that happen? Like, you don't have to be all singing, all dancing. And when I started this, I thought, I'm very prideful. I've been this, highfalutin financial advisor for decades and, got credentials out my wazoo. Do I want to do faceless? But after a few days of doing the faceless thing, I went, who cares anymore? People connect, people buy from people. So people want to see who I am and that I'm real.
Exactly. Now, Melissa and Marion.
Can I just touch quickly? I think that's really good what you said, Jo, about, and it resonates, the journey that we go on about learning about ourselves through this process. Like every day I'm learning something about this, the digital growth community, and skills, like you're saying, that I thought, there's something else in TikTok I have. What's this over here? And if nothing else, the growth is amazing that happens when you step outside your comfort zone. And it takes work, but people think, I think sometimes people think, this is the next best thing. Does this mean I don't have to work? Of course you have to work. All work is work, whether we go out and do the 9 to 5 grind or whatever, everything's work. But what I'm very thankful for is that I have a tribe around me that help me along. Yeah. And, that are there for me. They're not going to do it for me, but they are there for me. And there's the difference. Exactly. And I think, I learn from all of you. I just learned from the whole process. And I think that in itself is invaluable. I think that's important.
Well, I learned a little thing on TikTok that I didn't know you could do. Did you know that on TikTok you can do draft posts? Like, you can't schedule them, but you can draft them. Because the next 2 days I'm very busy doing some stuff with my mum, and I'm going up to Brisbane. So I'm going, how am I going to do all this? I can do it as a draft, and then just quickly go, boop, and away it goes at the time that I want to. So that was a lovely lesson, because I went, I don't want to have to do it at the time. It's very annoying. So I was very pleased about that. So Melissa and Marion, you're welcome to unmute yourself. If you have any questions, comments, please ask, because I'm very mindful of sticking to the time, because I don't like things that go over. But Melissa, you got anything to add or ask? And Marion the same?
No, it's just I only joined last Wednesday, so I'm just waiting to get all set up. I'm getting that straight away. That was a big appeal to me, done for you. So I'm just waiting to get set up. I spent the whole morning training myself about TikTok. That's the exciting thing for me. Everything I've shied away on in my own business for the last 10 years, I actually am teaching myself to do now. my children are horrified that I'm going to be on TikTok. My teenage children, like, they just can't. They like. I said, guys, do you want to follow me? Like, I'm on TikTok this afternoon. They, yeah, no. But it's like, you know, yeah. So I've been teaching myself TikTok. I found a great lady that does TikTok training through the group and stuff like that, and she's just amazing. So I've been teaching myself, learning to do TikTok, and I'm going to do it, you know, I'm going to do it myself. So I'm going to just about to start, once I feel confident of that, I'm going to start doing my 7-day ramp up.
Yes, talking about it,
to do it and stuff like that. And I like I probably will do some stuff on Facebook, but I actually like going into a clean, fresh space when actually no one knows me. I find that really appealing. So there's going to be no feeling of people that know me will watch you talk, you know, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just going in completely clean. No one knows me, you know what I mean? I'm not talking to my friends and family and stuff like that. So that's really appealing to me as well. For me, it was, you know, I mean, I've been coaching. I've been a money coach for the last 10 years, and it's so funny. It's like reflecting back over the last couple of months, I did a, you know, Eckhart Tolle spiritual conscious manifestation course, and I realised I've actually manifested exactly what I only realised that last night when I couldn't sleep because I was so excited about everything. But it's, you know, of being very, very clear of actually what I wanted my life to look like on a, you know, generating income, and I've realised I actually did this, because I wanted, and then, you know, realising I wanted to move away from the time for money, which you're always going to do for coaching, but didn't want to build my own online program. Obviously, I've got the option down the line if I want to do that now. So it's just, and it just feels in alignment. Like I've never even been in the digital space or had any exposure to any of this stuff. But, you know, SHA vetting it, obviously that's a massive tick.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, for all the women that I work with and supported and everything, for I guess all of us, it's just, you know, it's just another tool in the toolkit to, you know, if you've got someone that's looking for something like this, you've got something else. Like, you know, I mean, it's just so it really resonates and ticks the box for me for myself, but also to you know, share it.
Well, my concern is that so many people might get left behind because they're not jumping on this.
I know.
Yeah. And I don't
Exactly.
want to be, why didn't I jump on sooner? Like I've wasted time, right? So much time.
Yeah, but I think we're in it's like, you know, this group's doubled since June, you know, since June, July. It was about 20, because I've watched some of the old videos. It was around about 20,000. It's actually doubled in 3 months. So that's showing how I think we're getting in at a very, very good time.
Yeah.
That it's going to exponentially.
And the great
if it's built that much.
It's such a massive industry, like $1 trillion business in no time flat, 800 billion people on it. Like so many people are on it at any given time that who cares if there's 43,000? Won't matter if there's 150,000. You only need like even 0.001% of that baby, and I'm a very happy girl.
Absolutely. It's like a tiny sliver of that pie. Sliver would be amazing.
Give me some of that pie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love pie.
I just want to share it. Marion, do you have any questions or comments?
No, this sounds all like more fun than work. Which is fantastic. I am not on it yet, but I will be eventually. Joanne knows that I'm doing some sort of course, and that's almost taking, it shouldn't, but it's almost taking my whole time.
So Marion just started her MBA.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I got her into this MBA, and so I got her focused on that, and then she'll come on board.
I'll come on board definitely, because I'm not retired, but I would love to, and this is perfect.
This is your plan.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I'm we're nearly on the 40-minute mark, and I want to keep it at that. So thank you. What a great conversation.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you,
I'm
guys.
say goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye,
Take
man.
care.
Nice
Bye.